headed to the good life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to be married one day?
Of course.
No, it's not really of course. Why?
I want to get married because it's not more so of the marriage, like the certificate, it's more so of the union. Like, I want another man to want to spend the rest of his life with me, just like I want to spend the rest of his life with him. So it's more so like the union, because marriage, I feel like, you know, legally, like with all the certificates and, you know, going back and forth with like sharing assets and things, but it's like the union of it and just love itself and just being with somebody for the rest of your life and confessing your vows unto God and raising a family. Like that's like the vibe.
What part of the country do you live in?
DMV, Maryland.
See, one thing that shocks me about so many of our women is we are so rebellious as a culture.
Right.
We rebel against conformity. And it's like we like vibes more than structure.
What do you mean? Like, so going to structure, what do you mean structure?
Everything that you said it's not about. The legalities. All the.
But do you think the government kind of put that in play to kind of like, it's just like,
Okay,
is marriage about the
you
love?
You asked me a question and you start answering.
Let you talk. You got it.
Well, I mean, were your mother and father married?
Yes, they're married still.
How long they been married?
I mean, before I've been born, so I want to say like 29 years. Like they got.
Were your friends? Are their parents married?
Some of them are. It's like a you know how to.
No, it's not. What percentage of your friends, mother and father, are married and are still married?
I honestly want to say half and half. Like honestly, like I want to say I have my friends who grew up mom and dad both in the home.
Are they black?
Yeah, I mean most of my friends are black or like mixed race.
What's the marital rate in the black community?
The marriage rate in the black community now, and I remember watching one of your segments saying
30%.
Back in the day.
30%. So I don't understand at 26 years old, honestly, why you're coming into this with this whole what the government did and why they did. Why is that even in your mindset at such a young age?
It's more so like, okay, with marriage, it's just like, say if we were to get married, right? And say if we were to get divorced. It's just all the other the stuff that come with that. Like,
so I want you guys to understand, any decision made in fear, scarcity, and lack. Understand where she went. She went all the way to, if I'm the 1 in 4 black women to get married, and then if I'm one of the 80% of women who filed divorce, why are you going all the way to the end in the horror? Why? At 26 years old, why are you jumping all the way to divorce? Please explain.
And honestly, that's really a good question. I mean, of course, it's not something that I want. I don't want to get divorced, but it's also just,
that's what you talk about. I mean, ma'am, when you came in talking, so if your mother and father been married almost 30 years and half your friends come from nuclear families, why do you come in talking like a woman who's seen the worst parts of stuff and worried about the government and structure and divorce?
You sound like my dad. The government. You sound just like my dad.
But where'd you get this?
Right, like,
where'd you get this message? Where'd you get this garbage from?
I think I was watching Vlad on a Vlad interview, and I seen Nick Cannon. I've discussed this before, but Nick Cannon was basically saying about, I forgot, don't quote me, but basically how the government like just keeps track with your, like just keeps up with your money. Like love is about the union.
That's bullshit.
Like the marriage.
Hey man, Nick Cannon, shut the fuck up. This dude got like 18 women pregnant right now.
But if you think about it,
no, I need you to be quiet.
Okay.
Because you're listening to a guy who's a multimillionaire who wears a turban. And I'm saying this because you cannot talk about what a celebrity and a creative does. That's one of the major flaws in our community. We're the only people who let the celebrities, athletes, and entertainers speak for us, where other groups of people let the business people and the academics and the politicians speak. Why are you going to let people speak to you who perform for a living and who don't live a normal life? And then you're going to listen to what Nick Cannon, how many women are pregnant with Nick Cannon's child right now?
A whole lot.
So you're going to listen to this man instead of your father, who gave you a stable upbringing and you're gonna listen to Vlad TV.
But listen, Kevin, I don't want to get you. I don't want to get you.
What I'm trying to understand is, you say you want to be married one day,
Correct.
but your mind, the field of your mind, is where a man has to plant his seed, and your field is contaminated.
You think so? Okay, because listen, it's like one of the things where it's like, understood, and we did kind of start off on the wrong foot, and where like my mind did kind of went. My friend just texted me, he was like, I love this man.
Turn off the comments, please, ma'am. You can't do that.
No, my friend texted me.
Okay, but what I need you to do, okay? I need you to focus.
Okay.
I'm running the show, and you're all over the place, and I'm trying to have a conversation that's going to help people. You're looking at comments and everything else. Let's just have the conversation.
Okay, I respect that. Okay.
Go ahead. So at 26, life should be full of optimism and possibility, not this garbage you're talking about. Where did this come from?
But to be honest, so Kevin, you brought up marriage because let's be clear. I'm 26 and the objective is to continue to build my business. I'm a
fuck.
virgin.
Oh fuck.
No, you can
Here we go with this.
downplay
Here's
it.
all this shit. Oh
Kevin,
my god.
you can downplay it.
No.
When do you start?
Do not overtalk me. I don't care about a 26-year-old's business. Here's the problem. So many of our women feel like they got to go get all the pieces of your life together, and then you think you can come fit marriage in. Why do non-black women everybody can seem to go do all the stuff y'all talking about doing and still be married and have families? Y'all feel like marriage and family is something to do after you got your business together.
When is really the right time for marriage and family? It's like
22 years old.
22. Push out like have a kid at 22 when I'm a baby myself. Don't you think 22
Not a goddamn baby.
But
you're a
would you
grown
talk
adult.
to a 22-year-old though? You would think she's a baby.
Don't try this shit with me. Now see, we're about to go off the rails. You don't answer a question with a question. Are you here to argue, or are you here to get enlightened? Because you seem like because here's what I hear. Did you go to college?
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean,
okay. What's your business?
Well, I sell virgin hair extensions, Jinxie Central.
Thank you. So when we talk to so many of our women, what are their businesses? Some form of hair, lashes, some sort of multi-level marketing or real estate. It's not a business.
But what's wrong with that, Kevin? I'm asking because I want to be enlightened.
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it?
Yes.
What's wrong with it is what is life about?
Being happy and creating memories.
Life is about people.
Okay, so go into that.
When the coronavirus hit in 2020, where were you living?
With my mommy and daddy.
With your mommy and daddy, right. As a 26-year-old woman with your mommy and daddy, the family and the unit they built. What's wrong with what you're talking about is so many women who share your reflection were in their... Please hold the phone still. So many women who share your reflection were stuck in their houses, their apartments by themselves with nothing except these so-called jobs and so-called businesses.
Sure.
Ma'am, what about building a lash business keeps you from being in a healthy, committed relationship, building a family?
But also, Kevin, you have to remember.
What about building a lash business keeps you from being in a healthy, functioning, committed relationship, building a family? What keeps you from doing it?
That's the thing, Kevin. Absolutely nothing, but it takes two to tango. So if I'm ready and I'm ready to commit, take the time.
You're not ready to commit.
What makes you say that?
Ma'am, I'm talking to a teenager right now. No offense, but what I'm talking to you because at 26 years old, you're bouncing all over the place. But when I asked you when times got tough, you said mommy and daddy. That's not what a 26-year-old adult says.
Well, I mean, I am living with my parents.
I know. I know.
But listen, can I?
No, I don't know. No. You need to listen. Because this is why so many black men, what do y'all want black men to marry? Women who are fear-minded, scarcity-minded, lack-minded, who all want to be business owners and bosses of lash businesses. Man, no disrespect intended, but that is a joke of a business. It's nothing. It's a lifestyle business.
But
It's
Kevin,
man, a business. Look, due respect, I'm a business owner, and I don't even call myself what a lot of you guys call yourself because I don't have employees yet. To have a business, you need to have employees. You're you're 26, no college degree, living at home with your parents.
correct.
Talking like a boss.
Kevin, listen though, you're not listening to me. I let you speak. Let's have a conversation. Listen, everybody's different, and I could easily move out. But I want to move out and make it make sense though. Like everybody, I could easily move out and be somewhere in an okay neighborhood apartment. But I want to move out. I'm building my credit. I'm saving my money to where when I move out, I'm gonna have my own property. It's deeper than that. Yeah, I'm 26, but I'm not in a rush to just move out here and just make mistakes and just waste money and rent in a rent apartment.
And why I cut you off is because I talk to women like you every day who all are making the same mistakes.
What should I do then, Kevin? What should I do?
Grow up.
And then what? Tell me. And then what? Because Kevin, you get frustrated.
Calm down.
You get frustrated.
Calm down.
Okay, I'm calm. But you do get frustrated.
Calm down. What did I say at the beginning of this thing, ladies? You talk too much. Don't talk to me like I'm a woman. You cannot keep just rapid firing at me. I'm not you don't pester me like you're my little sister or I'm like your dad. I'm not that.
You got it.
Listen to
you got it.
what she says. I am trying to build up my credit. Did your credit have any dings on it?
Well, in the past, but now it's just more so.
No. How have you messed up your credit by age 26?
Mind you, when I was younger, it was some things to where I didn't pay. Honestly speaking, I was in college and I kind of just was like, not going back no more. Cool. So didn't go back, but also being young and dumb, just didn't pay the tuition that I owed. And then and back then I was just really naive. I didn't think credit was important. I didn't know the importance of it until I had to make purchases to where you don't have the money.
That's why you need a man. Because women, like it or not, would set to your own devices, more women end up self-destructing. Because y'all take life in general in your feelings in short term. Man, you're 26 with a high school diploma. Okay? That's just the net of it. And you've already managed to mess up your credit. Be quiet.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Stop me when I'm wrong. You're 26 with a high school diploma, right?
Correct.
By the age 26, you've already managed to mess up your credit. Correct?
Messed up, yes.
Yes, you messed it up.
Correct.
And it shouldn't be messed up.
It's not
no
more.
My God. This is the modern. This is why so many ladies. I want you to understand. I'm doing this to show you guys why you need men. You're all over the place. You have no direction, no focus. You just live life in a vibe. That's a child. Children live like that. Children. No direction. You tell me you have a business, I knew you were going to tell me something along this beauty line, because it's not a business, ma'am. It's not a business. It is a.
Kevin, can I say one thing?
No, you cannot.
But what about
it is not a. Okay, so I'm going to talk to the. It's not a business. And see, the problem is people have allowed this woman to talk too much, and no one sat her down and told her shut up, because
Kevin,
no, your mother and father should have put you in some direction in you and told you need to get stable, young lady. You need a profession. If you're going to be this way, you need a profession. Something that's going to be consistent, that's going to be able to be built on, because the way you're going right now, you won't have a husband or a man. So you're going to have to be able to take care of yourself. I'm just telling you, bring your father in the house, bring your father in the room. I'll tell him too, because ma'am, at 26 years old, I'm talking to you, and what are you doing with your life in this lash business?
Kevin, go like I be working, baby. Like you have to build things. You don't just have a multi-million-dollar business like open. You
there are
wake up
no. First off, don't you compare yourself to me, because we're a different thing. First of all, don't compare yourself to somebody.
It's not a comparison. Like,
you don't have a multi. This is what I mean. This is the child. I want you to be quiet. I want you to. I'm talking to the audience. You don't have a multi-million-dollar lash business.
Kevin,
that's the foolishness. Audience, this is what I need you to. These women actually believe they are entrepreneurs. They honestly believe they're business owners. Because I'm going past you, because you're not taking care of yourself, man. I don't have to listen to you right now, because you're not even paying your own bills. You don't pay the mortgage. You don't pay the utilities. You probably still living in the same room you were in high school.
Absolutely not.
You still live in your parents' house?
Do you
live in your parents' house?
I'm gonna be moving out.
You live in your parents' house soon. How long you been there?
Kevin, obviously.
How long you been there?
My whole life.
Right. Have you ever moved out of your parents' house?
No.
Thank you. So I'm talking through you. You're talking like you have answers, and you're 26. And I'll be honest, man. If you were a man, they'd call you a loser. Hey,
Kevin.
I'm sorry, I'm going to just go there. If you are a man living at home with your parents, no career, no prospects, these so-called businesses, over 25, we would call you a loser. And we need to start calling women losers.
Kevin, you don't listen. That's your problem. You don't listen. You discredit.
What do I need to listen to somebody who's living at home with their mom who can't pay their own bills?
Question. What were you doing at 26? I'm so curious. What were you doing? Please answer.
I was living in Dallas, number one sales rep for a telecommunications company. That's what I was doing. Number one. That's what I was doing.
So you were like working.
I had 2 jobs. I had a corporate job, and then I had a part-time job. Why? And what does what I'm doing have to do with you?
But listen,
no. That's my question. You want to do that?
Okay,
what is asking me what I'm doing? Because see, as a man, I have to take care of myself.
Correct.
I couldn't just live at home with my mama, because somebody would have called me a loser.
Correct. But I'm not, just because I live with my mama, what makes me, because I live with my mama, a loser? Like, who set these standards?
The world. If you were a man, if you were a man with the acceptable reasons, be quiet. So
why are we talking about it?
Because that's the problem. Stop. See, this is the problem. You would think that somebody who does not have a clue would not be fighting this much, but they really believe that they got the keys to life. Who set these rules up? What are acceptable reasons for adults to live at home? Adults should be living at home. Illness, calamity, possibly if you're in college. It is acceptable to live at home, but you have never left the nest. You're not in college. So at best, you're working. You're not even working a job. You're working a business, and you've managed to mess up your credit. Happens. But the fact of the matter is, did you learn the lesson? And I'm not hearing a woman who's learned the lesson.
Kevin,
and this all started.
I'm
Stop.
Still growing. Like, you're not letting me.
No, you're immature.
I'm maturing. Like,
no, you're not. No, you're not. If you were maturing, you would not be talking the way you are right now.
No, Kevin.
Because I'm trying to help you from making yourself look crazy. You don't know. You don't realize. Because, do you have any siblings?
Yes. My brother now.
Are you the baby? Are you the baby of the family?
No, I have a younger brother.
Well, 26. Okay. So like I was saying, at 26 years old, it would be, as a man, you could not go out into the world and say, hey, I live with my parents. And people not saying, well, why are you living at home? Are you in college? Are you sick or something? No, I'm just, did you move? Why? Well, I'm just trying to get my credit straight, and I want to leave my mom's house, my parents' house, and I want to get my own home. It's not acceptable for men.
You're absolutely right. Like, moving out is definitely something I should have been moved out. Like, you're absolutely right. But now, instead of rushing, I just want to move out when it makes sense. Like,
when is it going to make sense?
I want to buy a house. I want to buy a house. What's wrong with that, Kevin? What's wrong with that? Like, it seems like everything's wrong. Like, you want me to go out here and pay all this money on rent when I could just go out here and own and pay less?
I don't want you to do it. I want you to go buy. I want you to do all that because you're going to be alone. Because if you say you follow my content, I put a post up last week talking about women who want to be in a long-term relationship, serious relationship, should avoid putting down permanent roots. You have no one to counsel you except you. You are your own best counsel. And I'm sorry, man. You want to be a 26-year-old homeowner and starting a lash business. Due respect, man.
I sell
Stop.
virgin hair extensions. I don't sell lashes.
Whatever
But
you
that's
sell.
just the
Whatever you
start, Kevin. You have to start somewhere.
Why don't you have a job?
I'm in real estate school as well because I work for myself.
Why don't you have? Be quiet.
Job. I don't need one right now.
Well, you do. See, one of the major problems is this generation thinks because they can make money in different ways that is what you learn on the job. You don't have any kind of structured thinking. You don't have any kind of systematic thinking. So just because I'm talking through you at this point, man. This is the problem. I don't because you don't even comprehend what I'm saying. Don't Kevin me. This is what I'm saying. They don't even. You can't sit down and what have you completed since high school? Boom! Nothing.
Wait,
not a goddamn thing.
I'm growing.
You have not completed
Wait,
that. You got a high school diploma, and the last thing you completed was something that was compulsory. After that, you just stop. Flutter. You have nothing. You have, ma'am. If you are not going to be a wife, which you're definitely not, as an adult, as an adult, you are going to have to be able to take care of yourself for the rest of your life. Life is not a joke. It is not a game. And I am tired of seeing our black women walk through life like it's a goddamn game. What have you completed since high school?
Honestly, Kevin, if you want to get technical, nothing. I'm trying, like, honestly, I was very unfocused. You know, I was worried about the wrong things. I wanted to go out. I wanted to be cute. Now I'm cracking in. I had to come to a realization. Everybody has a job in this world, and I'm just not meant to really. I'm meant to, and you're gonna laugh at me, but I'm meant to be my own boss. Like, I'm a people person. I'm really good with people. Like you said, this is a people's world. I'm really good with people. I'm really good at communicating, and I work hard. So what's wrong with me wanting to build my business? You don't
because you don't know anything. See,
exactly.
Excuse me. Be quiet. I let you say. Don't overtalk me. I'm gonna tell you everything wrong. What they've allowed women to do is say, everybody got jobs, and because I'm a higher level mover, I don't need a job. I need to take this. No, that means you're uncooperative, undisciplined, and lack structure. And that is the one thing you need to build a consistent business that produces year over year. Structure. You have never worked in an organization over 4 years with people. You don't know how to work under a deadline, how to work on a project, how to get things done, how to follow instructions, how to not lead. You are used to just talking and getting over on the bullshit. And see, one of the major things you learn when you go work for somebody else is how to follow. You learn how organizations work. You learn how to be an effective leader and manager because one day you will have employees. All you're used to doing is taking care of your own selfishness. You're used to doing what you do, worrying about you. That means even if you're great at what you do, people who move like you tend to be terrible bosses.
And why? Because
you have learned. Where do individual contributors practice people skills?
But honestly, Kevin, my people skills is on 100. Like, literally. Like, I know my people skills is literally like, if anything, that's what saves me. You're right. Like maybe I might not have like structure and Kevin, why you gotta why everything gotta be negative from you? Why can't
Because
you look at the positive?
I'm twice your age and I know more than you. And that and the fact of the matter and the fact that I do, you should be listening instead of talking so much.
Kevin, but you're judging me and you're not letting me know.
No, see, and let's just say I am judging you. I'm judging you based on the fact of your ignorance. You don't know what you don't know, and when you're sitting in front of somebody who's been where you have been, sat down, had a Coke and a sandwich, you're still talking like you've just discovered something. I know what you're talking about. Ma'am, this is reproducible. You can find people who are great individual contributors on the basketball court and great players who make horrible coaches.
True.
Bottom line is, ma'am, you just said it. You're a free spirit and you're worried about you and you're just out doing your thing. That means you worry about you. But when you become a boss and a leader, your goal is not what you want. You got to get your people what they want so they'll help you get what you want. But see, you learn that when you go work for somebody else, but you go pay your dues. With your generation, everybody wants to jump from being a damn student to being a leader with not doing anything in between. You haven't even done it in college. You didn't complete college. College just says a couple of things. One, that you can complete a course, that you can actually show up and do tasks. But when you quit stuff, people look at your resume and it's just jumping all over the place. So yeah, what you're doing right now, what other options do you have? You don't have any high income skills. What do you have from a high school degree, high school diploma? Kevin. What do you have as a high school diploma that you, without your mouth, could go out into the market and could command a living wage?
Answer this question. What job do you know?
I ask you a question. You don't. So, gentlemen, ladies, when they answer a question with a question, is a disingenuous deflection. When they answer a question with a question, is disingenuous and deflection. This 26-year-old woman thinks she's going to ask me, who has a resume a mile long. I don't need to justify myself to you.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
What skills do you have with a high school diploma that you could walk into a recruiter or an open job market and they would pay you what?
As far as skills on paper, I guess nothing.
Right.
Because I guess personality.
So what does that mean? You're a minimum wage worker.
But that's the thing, though. I'm a worker, That's the thing, Kevin. I'm not a worker.
You see the reason she's not a worker, she's living in how much you pay for rent? Thank you. See, when you live in the comfort of mommy and daddy's house, and she doesn't have to pay rent, utilities, the reality hasn't sunk in with her. She thinks she's a boss. And we got so many women out here doing this shit. And this is why so many of you young ladies are unfit for relationships, because your egos are out here and your head is out here and you're talking all this shit like you're something, and you're living in your mom and daddy's house and you've never even had to sit down and pay a bill, pay a mortgage, pay something, make deadlines, make sure that this shit stays on. You go to the refrigerator, food is there because they put it in there. The lights are on, the utilities are, everything works because they did it and it's comfortable. You live better than you can afford to live. If your mother and father were called home to glory, you have minimum wage skills like we all had coming out of high school. You have not improved your skill sets. So you can say what you want to, but when you go out into the job market and have to apply for a job, because if all of a sudden if the United States outlawed your business tomorrow, made selling hair extensions illegal, and you had to go get a job, what kind of job would you get?
That is a good point. I'm also in real estate school though as well, because I also want to get into real estate, flipping homes, also because my parents, they're landlords, so we have properties already to where like they rent out and stuff. But what I want to do is maybe do.
So in other words, when real estate understands something, ladies understand. When men hear you in real estate, all we hear is you want free money. Women go into real estate with the hopes of taking a little bit of money and making these incredible home purchases. You all have the same listings in the same place. Now, here's the thing. You go ask these real estate moguls what they're really selling. Where's your last open house?
I'm in real estate school, Kevin.
Uh-huh. Right. How long you been in it?
I've been in real estate school since the beginning of September.
Right.
I'm online on the Etsy shop.
Mm-hmm. So, hair extensions,
Correct.
real estate.
Jinky
So
Central.
So I know some extremely successful real estate salespeople, and that is a full-time career that requires 80 hours.
My friend Paige sells real estate. She sells real estate.
So she just went right on past what I was saying.
I didn't know.
That means you cannot save too. The reason I'm doing this is because this is going to help a lot of young people, because you're seeing a lot of young mindsets here. And the problem is, honestly, your mother and father likely have allowed you to stay here because they know out there you just gonna do what you want to. So at least you home, they can watch out for you. But ma'am, you're unstable. You have to be able to take care of something if you're not going to be with anybody, and that's obviously not on the table.
Kevin,
what do you plan on doing?
It's not a priority right now, Kevin. Like you said, why would I want to be looking for a relationship when I still have things that I need to get?
Well, see, the funny thing is, you act as though. Okay, let me explain what's crazy around what you're saying.
Okay.
Like a relationship is optional, ma'am. You're a high school graduate. Okay. You're a high school graduate with no high income skills. Relationships for people like this are not optional. They're mandatory because you don't have enough income to live and survive on your own.
But Kevin,
Stop. But see, our women and women today have been told, well, the way you fix that is you go work for yourself in this entrepreneurial way for 10 or 15 years, and then you look up and you're almost 30 years old and you're still hustling, side hustles, no career, nothing stable, and you have no real relationship skills with men. You know how to date, 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 and you know how to have sex. You can dream all you want to. This is going to probably go viral because you can dream as much as you want to. This is the wake up call. So your plan is, I want to prove you wrong. The fact that I'm a high school graduate and I haven't completed anything.
Baby, just because
right, exactly.
So
and that's the sad part. That's the sad part. So many of our women would rather do that because they think so little of men and relationships. They think so little. That just shows you the men and relationships. Men and relationships matter so little to where women like her think that they can get through life on their high school education and their wits. This is why our community is at the bottom. Now, this woman has a 29 year. This is a woman has a 20+ year marriage of a family, and you didn't learn those lessons.
Kevin, that's not.
You didn't learn
true,
those. You didn't learn those lessons. What is true, ma'am, is you have little to no focus, and you just jump from everything to everything to everything. And you, at 26 years old, you have no structure. And I'm gonna tell you, whether you want to hear it or not, I said relationship is not on the forefront because you're not ready mentally for anybody. You still need to grow up. You're not, even if a man saw you and said, "Hey, I want to be with you," effectively, and this is not meant to insult you, effectively, you're like a 10th grader emotionally, and you still need to develop. But while that's going on, clock is ticking, man. What age do you plan on moving out of your parents' house? And if you're telling me
this year, Kevin, we might be neighbors. You can't sleep on people.
Okay.
Like
So again, because I speak truth. This is what I need you to understand. This is why so many of our women don't like me, because I speak truth. It's negative. You sleep on people. No, ma'am, I'm telling you the truth. You're living in a fantasy. We're not going to be neighbors. I'm going to tell you why we're not going to be neighbors.
Because you're not going to be able to afford the house that I'm going to be next to me. Kevin, you got to speak these great things into your existence, Kevin. If I don't believe
I can't afford to live next to you.
My whole thing is this.
I need you to be careful. I can't afford to live next to you. I want you to understand why we're not going to be neighbors, because I can't afford to live next to you.
I'm just saying.
No, I want. Is that what you just said? Is that what you just said? Is that what you just said?
I wouldn't be able to afford to live next to you.
No. That's what I'm going to be clear. You just said we're not going to be neighbors because I can't afford to live in the house that's next to you.
Right, because you're saying I wouldn't be able to afford a house that's next to you.
You
So
can't.
What makes you?
You can't.
What makes you say that though, Kevin? Because
You
when you
can't.
were 26, you wasn't living. When you were 26, you were not in the position you were.
Because that's exactly. That's why you can't do it.
Kevin,
You can't afford it.
It's attainable.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Ma'am. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. You can't live where I live. You can't live where the way you would obtain what I do is if you won the lottery or somebody rich married you.
Kevin.
So I need you to understand, and what I want you guys to understand, what I need you to understand is they would rather do this. This is how far the delusion and denial has gotten. They would rather think like this. It could happen. It can happen. So guys, don't think I'm doing this for no reason. No, you're not. You're just talking. And the thing is, guys, the reason I'm doing this is because she is not unusual. This is in part of our culture. So many of our women have been brainwashed to think this. If I just talk about it and I can manifest it and I can just believe it. This woman actually said the reason we could be neighbors, and I said no, we can't be neighbors. This woman actually said to me that we're not going to be neighbors because Kevin Samuels, could not afford to live in the house next to her.
Because you tried to come for me, so I came for you.
There's something called reality.
Kevin, but
you live at home, man.
Kevin,
you live at home. 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 Check your ma'am. See, stop. You live at home. And you're talking in your emotions. Man,
because you're making me emotional.
No. The reality is making you emotional.
But
because now
it's not a reality. It's the reality you're trying to put on me.
The reality is you have no career.
I'm building a career, Kevin.
No, you're not. You're in real estate school.
You don't just get a career. You don't just wake up with a career, my love. You know this.
So how we got here is I asked, when do you plan on moving out of your parents' house?
Soon.
And this woman, soon. And I said, where you plan on moving to? So, and because your plan was, I'm going to move out of my parents' house and move it to a home.
Correct. Or like a condo.
Okay.
I just want to own.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to own, Kevin. And that's obtainable. And there's nothing wrong with that.
It's obtainable.
If people are paying $2,000-$3,000 for an apartment, you know what I'm saying? That makes no sense if you think about it. And it be black folk who really can't even afford it. What makes no sense is I want you guys to go back all the way to the beginning to understand how we got here. What makes no sense is how you've gotten to be this way at 26 years old. You're so in your vibe. This is what we have done. We used to be a people who prized hard work, consistency, discipline, focus, structure, to the point to where we just want to sit back. We want no rules, no nothing. And here's your thing, young lady. You've dug this ditch for yourself. When you start trying to talk about, I can't live next to you and this, and I'm just like, that's just silly. But that's you're
dumb.
Basically saying, I'm worth nothing. I'm not going to be nothing. I'm not going to be married.
See,
that's basically what you're saying.
And if that's what you heard, that's your problem.
Kevin,
that's not what I said.
I'm not gonna be
I'm going. So what? No, I said you. No.
You said
See,
if I was
I'm going to
hang.
So what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this without you because I know what I said. You're not going to put your bullshit off on me. You're not going to put your bullshit off on me. You can run that shit with your friends, your family, but you can't run it with me. I said what it is. You are not ready for a serious relationship because emotionally you're like a high schooler, and it lines up with where you live.
So Kevin, let's just say in a year, right? I grow my business to where maybe it's not multi-millionaire, but I have employees. We're going on maybe $1 million business. Then what, Kevin? Were we gonna refer this conversation? What if I do? It's a lot of people who Little Durk. I mean, even though he's a rapper, he's just about to go get his high school diploma. You can obtain great success and wealth without going to school or working a job. Honestly, name one job that I can work with a degree that will bring me more than $5 million a year. Am I going to obtain the money that I want to obtain working for somebody else? Where I'm gonna get it? In the government? Like where I'm gonna get it? Like I want to build generational wealth, and I'm not gonna do that really working for somebody else. I have to have different streams of income. You know this. You don't just have one job. That's why even when you were 26, you had two. You understand? Like, I get it. Like, I do need a job to fund things, but I'm thinking bigger than working for somebody else for the rest of my life. Who wants to do that? You're not working for somebody else, and I'll be damned if you start working for somebody else again, because you're not. So, because you already experienced how it feels to work for yourself, and the money you're making now, you would have never obtained working for corporate or selling computers or phone, whatever the fuck you said you were selling. You would not be making the money you make now doing that shit, and you know it. So why are you on here trying to cap? You're a businessman yourself. And because, oh, now I'm, what are you, 56? I don't know. So now you're 56 and you're Kevin Samuels, you got 10,000 people on your Instagram. You forget the journey. You don't wake up Kevin Samuels. I'm not going to wake up the person I am going to be in 10, 15 years. You have to understand that you have to start somewhere. And the fact that I even have this mindset to where I'm like, you know what? I don't want to work for somebody for the rest of my life. I want to have my own business. I want to bring about multiple streams of income. I want to create generational wealth. And you trying to downplay it? You can downplay it. Everybody want to downplay it until the business.
All right. So now, exactly. So I want you to, all that stuff she just said.
And that's bad.
No. How much did you make last year?
Kevin, I used to be a server. I made $100,000.
How much did you make last year?
Probably, like, honestly, realistically, through the pandemic, still about $75,000 last year.
And what does your father do for a living?
He works for the government. He works just in DIA.
What does your mother do for a living?
Sit real pretty, manage the bills, and do her own finances and things like that.
So you made $75,000 last year.
Correct.
Okay, and you live at home and you're not paying any rent.
Kevin.
No, ma'am. I'm just asking. No.
I never said I manage my money.
Hold on. I just need to answer my question. I'll let you talk. I'll just let you go on that law. Thank you. So you made. Okay, no. Excuse me, because I just let you dig a ditch. I just let you dig. I'm not going. That's quicksand. I can't get you out of there. You're dead.
No, help me, Kevin. Help me.
No, ma'am. After listening to what I just heard, I can't help you. So but I have some questions. So my question, but here's my question: $75,000.
Correct.
Okay, but you're not. Okay, all right. And your father works in the government. Did your father go to college?
No.
Your mother go to college?
Yes.
Okay. She has a business. Does either one of your parents make $5 million a year?
No, not a year. No.
Okay. What percentage of people in this country make more than $100,000? What percentage of women make more than $100,000?
I feel as though I feel as though maybe a lot. I would say, like, at least now.
What percentage? What percentage?
I want to give women. I want to give it maybe 40, 50, 60% around there. 6%.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
6% of women in the United States make over $100,000.
Mm-hmm. Only 9% of Black women earn more than $75,000 a year.
Because Black women working for somebody else, Black women need to step the fuck up and get and boss up and open that business. Get that business from open that business.
So you made $75,000. You made $75,000 last year. What'd you make the year before?
Probably like around like 60, 65.
Okay. And you have all that. No, ma'am. I'm just so you making this kind of money. What state are you in?
Maryland.
So you're in Maryland. You're making this kind of money, and you had credit issues that you said were prohibiting you from doing so.
Back from
Stop, ma'am. I'll let you talk.
Okay.
So all this money you're making, but you're still not living on your own. You're not paying anything for rent, and you put nothing into any real structural things that are going to give you any kind of real high-income compensatable skills.
Kevin,
ma'am,
I would be lying.
Ma'am, that's just the reality of it. So, and if you know anything about me, I'm a proponent for people being servers and salespeople and all sorts of kind of stuff. So you don't watch what I talk about, but the net of it is this. You think 40% of women make $100,000. And you said, you know, what if next year and all this stuff about this and that and $5 million, as if $5 million just grows on trees. Do you know anybody that makes $5 million a year?
That was my point, Kevin. Don't
Do you know anybody?
I'm in my
Do you know
process, baby.
anybody? Do you know anybody that makes $5 million a year?
Honestly, no.
Where did this appetite come from?
Honestly, this appetite came from me seeing people who are 12 years old, multimillionaires.
Where'd you see these people?
Okay, I know where you're going. You're talking about social media and you're talking about.
I don't know, ma'am. I'm asking you. I don't know.
mean,
I'm asking you.
I see it.
I'm asking you.
It,
I'm asking you. What I'm asking, ma'am, is I'm talking to a woman who said your parents have been married for more than 25 years.
correct.
Your father didn't go to college as your mother did. Your mother stays at home. Your father works a government job. Sound like solid middle class people. And they sound like they provided you with an exceptional middle class lifestyle to where over at least half of your friends, their mothers and fathers are still married.
Correct.
And I'm talking to a woman who is on some glam up, manifest, I can go from this to $5 million business in 1 year. Ma'am, I'm stopped. I don't need that. No. I heard you in your diatribe.
Kevin.
I heard you, ma'am, you don't even, the fact of the matter is, you don't even understand what you just done. That whole diatribe you were on said more than I could ever say. You're living in a fantasy. You don't, so basically, your father and your mother's lifestyle wouldn't be good enough for you.
It's crazy. Me and my dad talk about this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It would be good, but it's average. You just said middle class. Are you living a middle class lifestyle? And if you aren't, would you go back to it? That's a real question. Would you trade up your millions of dollars, whatever, would you trade this Instagram to go back and work a job? Please answer that, Kevin. Would you?
The difference, excuse me, check that shit. The difference between me and you is I've earned everything I got. You just got a motherfucking opinion.
Kevin.
Every step, shut up. Every step of the way, I have made myself valuable over my 52 fucking years. Everything that I have is I've earned. See, what you think is Instagram and YouTube, because this social media shit has got you little young people's mind twisted. You think just because I have Instagram and YouTube, they don't pay you on Instagram and YouTube just because people don't come listen to me just because I'm popular. I know what I'm talking about. I've got 20 plus years of experience to pull from. $6 million worth of sales training, multiple different certifications. I am a competent professional. So stop trying to compare yourself to me. Stop.
I'm not trying to compare. I'm trying to
Stop. No,
Kevin.
shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. And the fact of the matter is, I'm telling with you, because the fact of the matter, you called your father average. You said they are average. You said they're average. You said your parents. You said your mother and father are average. You entitled. I swear to God, that's the final straw with me, lady. You said that they're middle class and that's average. As a high school graduate selling bundles, thinking that and you ain't got to pay shit. I hope your father never hears what you said. I hope he doesn't hear it, because that's insulting. They provided you with something that you don't even think. You look at that man who's sacrificing, that woman who sacrificed, and you just shit on everything that they said in front of thousands of people. Don't you think people know your family? Like you said, you got 10, 12,000, got $1 million over here. You don't think somebody gonna hear and say, "God damn, do you know what your daughter said about you?"
Can I say something?
Bye.
We